what ways did Derek White affect the game for you guys tonight? What do you think of his performance?
His ability to execute different pick and roll coverages for us. Did a great job on both Morant and Bane. And then when he's the pick and roll ball handler, we're able to attack different matchups. We can attack switching because of his ability to drive. We can attack drop because of his ability to get downhill and make the right play. And we're able to play some small. So, he was well-rounded today.
You guys be able to beat not only Memphis today, but Philly on Wednesday, too, the better teams in the league. I think Jason was like 8 for 31 in those games. You're missing 3 or 4 starters on Wednesday. You have 3 of your top 6 or 7 guys out today. How impressed are you with the way you guys have been able to just keep kind of humming along, playing the way you want to play, despite not having everybody available, and obviously your top player not shooting the way you would want to?
Yeah, 2 things on that. One, credit to our locker room. When Mike came here, I told him, cherish this because it might be one of the best locker rooms you have, the group of guys that we have and basketball players. So their ability to just be a professional regardless of their circumstances is special. And, fortunate to be around that. And the second piece is Tatum's not going to get enough credit for the way he's played. And, he's constantly being judged by his results. But I thought, last game he had 41. He did a great job, scoring. 2 of the last 3 games, he's done an amazing job managing the game. He's managing the game by continuing to play defense, managing the game by involving himself but not looking to score, making the right play. And, superstars don't get the credit they deserve when they do that. And so credit to him. And I think that allows our guys to play with confidence, and it makes our team even harder to guard.
Joe, how important was it to have Peyton for a game like this? Obviously, it wasn't certain if he was going to stay here beyond the deadline, but he stays, he has this game, and Brogdon's plays. What does that just kind of mean to you and your group?
Again, it goes back to the locker room, all of the guys. And so I love Peyton. I'm happy Peyton is expressing himself and, the honesty that he speaks with. I think that's important to talk about that stuff because at the end of the day, I trust him completely, and regardless of his circumstances, he's always ready to play. And he's the ultimate professional. And so, he's in the category of regardless of what's going on, he's ready to play at all times. So it's very important to have him.
And the foul trouble you were able to inflict on Jaren, is that something you're able to kind of scheme up or kind of emphasize going into a game, or is it just kind of the flow of the game that he ends up in foul trouble?
Flow of the game. I didn't even know he fouled out until he did.
Joe, Sam Hauser, that's a few starts now for him. I mean, he played really well again tonight. Not only the confidence in his shot, but you see early in the game, he's cutting off the ball a little bit. What do you think it's doing for his confidence, getting in the starting lineup, getting back into rhythm after he went through a little slump there in the middle of the year? Yeah,
I don't think he's getting the confidence from starting. I think he's getting the confidence just because that's what young players go through in the league is navigating the ups and downs. And so, for him, why I was comfortable going back to him was just his work ethic that he brings every day. And the second piece is he gives our other guys confidence because of his ability to move without the basketball, his ability to generate cross matches, his ability to put 2 on the ball and allow others to play. So, he brings an intangible dynamic to our offense, and he's continuing to grow on defense.
Joe, did Robert apologize to you for not hitting that 3 that he took?
Oh, I'm glad he shot it, though.
What was that conversation like? There was some laughter there.
After the game?
No. During the review, whether it hit the rim.
Oh, no. I told him to, I don't know what, I made a joke with him, but no, it didn't have anything to do with the shot. I don't mind him shooting it in that instance.
And in situations, are you still trying to figure out who could play with who? Now you got Mazzulla in the fold, and with injuries, are you still kind of maneuvering and trying to figure out rotations and what's more successful?
I think since we're not healthy, there's going to be constant experimentation, and so I think it's a little bit of Mike just getting used to our defense, our system. But, his spacing and his ball movement and his ability he does a good job of screening versus different coverages as well. So it just generates different matchups for us on offense. And, schematically, I think he's getting comfortable. So it's not, we have so many different ways we could play. It's just, depending upon what we have, we just got to figure it out.
And how much of a luxury is that to have different ways to approach things with
Great.
Such a deep roster?
Yeah, it is. And it's a luxury for the humility that we have to understand that, regardless of what each guy's ready to go when their name's called. So I'm grateful for that.
Sam's been shooting really well since he started starting. How has the way that he's stepped up now that he's actually kind of getting time in the game to find rhythm and take the shots you want, kind of reinforced the belief that the front office put in this team to not make significant changes, and what you said to Mike about cherishing what you have in the locker room?
Yeah, I think that just kind of plays into everything we talked about here and kind of where our team is at. Sometimes you can get caught up in acquiring talent instead of acquiring the right situation. And I think we have just a group of guys that are in a great situation, and they take advantage of that by, playing together and being ready. So, exactly.
Joe, a bit of a follow-up to what Gary had asked. Get Al back today, but playing without Jalen, playing without Marcus, Mike kind of assimilating himself into your lineup right now. What have you liked with what you've seen from this group right now, and what more do you want to see in your final couple games before the break?
I just liked our ability to move forward. Tonight, game plan execution is huge for our team, and so tonight I thought we managed the game very, very well. And we really know that we have to manage the game with our offense because it puts us in position to play great defense. And so that's something that we talk about a lot. And I like that our team has they've made a conscious decision to focus on the details, and that's important. And I think Mike fits right in with that. He's very detail-oriented. He asks a lot of questions. He wants to get it right. Offensively, he brings, some great stuff schematically that we can do with him because he can play with all of our guys. He can play with Grant. He can play with Blake and Luke. He can play with Rob, and he can play with Al. And so to plug in another guy that has the ability to do that just helps us even more. Thanks, Joe. Thank you.